form and all of the
Okay.
discussed. So it was, it's very helpful, exact language. We have like a Google Drive.
Order, hello everyone. Hope everyone is having a great Wednesday so far. I would just like to clarify something really quick. Because we do not have quorum, we currently have 7 senators. One of our senators got passed and will be coming here. We will have 8. We are going to push all the things that require voting down so that we can have all the different reports that do not require voting to be first. So different people can start presenting so we can move the meeting forward without having to conflict with the different voting things that we need to be done, such as committee reports, finance reports, and also I know there's 2 more members of SOC, which is the Student Color Conference, that need to be approved. So moving forward, I call this meeting to order on Wednesday, November 16th at 6:11 p.m. We will start with roll call. We do have a sub-in Senate Secretary for today. His name is Jameson. So yeah.
President Kareem.
Excused, absent. He's currently in San Francisco for the protest. That's going to be for the tuition hike.
Executive Vice President Charles.
Present.
Vice President of Campus Internal Affairs, Wilson.
Present.
Vice President of External Affairs, Guerrero.
He is absent as well. He will be in San Francisco with the protest.
Vice President of Finance, Singh.
Present.
Personnel Director, Alcantara.
Excused, absent.
Marketing and Promotions Director, Lopez.
Excused, absent.
Outreach Director, Tan.
Class. Sorry.
Transfer and Non-Traditional Students Director, Montoya.
Unexcused, absent.
Green Campus Action Plan Director, Martinez.
Unexcused, absent.
Elections Director,
Present.
Okay. Senators Chass, Ira, I apologize. Chen,
Unexcused, absent.
Cole,
Excused, absent.
Cortez, Hernandez.
Excused, absent.
And
She will be coming late because she comes.
Javier,
Jimenez. She is excused, absent.
Kosi,
Unexcused, absent.
Missouri,
And Zuribe. Class.
Nunez, Lee, Moore,
She has class, so she will be present later.
Young,
Excused, absent. Sorry.
Cato, and Weeman. Here.
Yvonne. Also, moving on to the next item of our agenda, which is approval of agenda. So, I do know that based on the Robert's Rule of Order, these are just preliminary, I guess, motions that need to be in effect in order to conduct the meeting. So without quorum, we will just move forward. So at this time, if you would like to switch things around on the agenda, please just raise your hand and let me know. Thank you. Vice President, Campus Internal Affairs, Bosin.
I'd like to executive cabinet reports. So before the OIC report, I think we have a lot of program now.
So all of them?
Or just mine, right?
Okay.
Or unless you prefer to go to we don't need to.
No worries. Okay, so it's up to you. All of them or just yours?
Or mine.
Okay, so we will move executive cabinet, specifically Vice Campus of Internal Affairs, Bosin's report, which is section I, and we will move it up to after a public forum, I believe it was?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect, to after a public forum. Are there any other changes? Yes.
I move to strike SBF 16007 and SBF 16008.
Thank you for making a motion. However, we cannot carry that out, but you're, it's still, so Senate Bill F16007, as well as Senate Bill F16008 to be striked out as in to be tabled until next week. until next week. Any other corrections? Yes?
Can I move finance committee report to legislative review committee?
To what?
To move it ahead of legislative resolution?
Sure, we will do that. But based on timing, I guess, we will see if we have enough for quorum to be able to pass that, okay? So we'll move finance committee before legislative review committee. And at this time, because we do not have quorum, we'll move executive cabinet reports in general, director reports, and senate reports up before committee reports. Yes? Did you have something else to add? Nope? Are there any other corrections that you all want to make? If not, perfect. I will be passing out the Senate meeting minutes for. Please do read through them to see if there are any corrections, especially for those that did present last week during the Senate meeting. So once we have quorum, we'll approve the changes that we've made to the agenda. So that's how we will move forward. Moving on to the next item of the agenda, which is ex officio reports at this time. If you would like to address the Senate ex officios, this is your time.
Hello.
Hello.
So on behalf of Dr. Mr. Ryan and Alda, tomorrow we have an event going on called the post-election immigration info session. So folks, freaking out as far as like what's going to happen under this new presidency. So we will be bringing in our UC undocumented legal services. So the lawyers that work with all undocumented students across the UCs will be here. This will be from 1 to 3 p.m. in Hub 379. Talk about to update folks on what DACA is, know your rights. There'll be a Q&A afterward. We'll talk about like other forms of visas and immigration stuff, so like U visas and adjustment for marriage, all that. So folks who are interested in the information have that available and can ask questions from actual lawyers. So it'll be from 1 to 3 tomorrow in Hub 379.
Just really quickly, 1 to 3 tomorrow in Hub
379.
379. Perfect. Thank you. Are there any questions? No. Thank you so much, Mikala.
Hello, Jonathan from the Elderly Resource Center. As you may remember from last week, this week we are currently having a trans awareness program, a display over there. Check it out. It's some of the lives that were lost due to transphobia and violence against trans identities up to 2016. It includes those that were lost internationally as well as domestically. Today we had our pronouns and pie event, which is where we discuss pronouns, why they matter, and why it's important that you use the proper pronouns. And we had a very large amount of guests, almost 100, which we totally weren't expecting, so really happy with that.
So we can go back to it.
And that's all I can say.
Awesome. Thank you. Any questions? No. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Hey, Tina from the State Center.
So this last week has just been mostly like elections forums. There have been one or two centered around like different topics. Like MSA had one yesterday centered around like safety for like Punjabi women, and like other folks that are usually Muslim. And there were a few like in the Middle Eastern Center specifically, there were just like discussions and like kind of like steps like where to go from here. So those are pretty productive. Coming up, I think next week we're still having our Women's Circle Tuesday at 11, I believe, in MESC, and our Men's Circle Wednesday at 1 at MESC, as well as Nescafe, which I believe is also Tuesday. Don't quote me on this, it's one of these. Check out our website so you can follow our social media in there. And there's also dinner and a movie night with SJP tomorrow night, Thursday, from 5 to 8 p.m. in Humanities 2102, and we'll be watching a short movie called Five Broken Cameras next Monday, hosted by the
to kind of, I don't know if you all saw today, but there was an action out on campus today in support of making campuses nationwide sanctuary campuses. So I would actually want to take time to urge you all as ASUCR, as student government to do so and to like propose or like make a resolution in support of making UCR sanctuary campus, but also the UC-wide as a whole. Just as I don't know if you all heard, just like just the basically the panic that is ensuing across campuses and across the nation within students, and we would like to see like as students, as someone who's undocumented myself, like I would like to see like my government, my student government to take action. It's one of the few things that I can do, and I would do it. So like please, I encourage you all to do that and speak out. Okay, continue the movement, and we'll be like, reaching out to you all again sooner. If you have any questions, please come back to me. I live in the documents and programs, so it's really another excuse not to talk to me.
Thank you. Yes, Senator Ira?
Thank you so much for bringing that issue up. Oscar, VPA Oscar and I have actually reached out already to undocumented student programs, and I think CSP. We are also planning to reach out to BODED and make sure that we're working with them, not like kind of writing a resolution.
And that's kind of like the fear that some students had, that there was no account yet taken of the students themselves yet.
Right, yeah, we reached out to the admin person. Our next step was to reach out to students. Just Oscar's super busy with the protest right now in Sacramento or in San Francisco. So, but if you want to talk to me after, I'd be happy to reach out to you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, Jim, I know you talked about this last time, but I believe during the Neapolitano. I do apologize, Neapolitano. Anyways, moving forward, did come out with a statement saying that all UC-wide have become, all campuses on UC-wide have become sanctuaries?
Yeah, there are two system-wide meetings that are coming up on the topic, so there's been a lot of developments on that front. One is the Council of Vice Chancellors of Student Affairs are going to be speaking with OP officials on the 22nd of November, next Wednesday, and then the President herself has called a meeting with all the undocumented student coordinators on the 30th of November, and the sanctuary issue is the number one agenda item on the table. And specifically, what we're filtering through are the legal ramifications, so that what we want to make sure that we do is establish a status that we can legally abide by. And I don't know if Maria Blanco is going to be here tomorrow with the UC General Counsel, but one of our, the lead of the Undocumented Student Legal Center at Davis has started to craft what that would look like. So I think we're all going in the same direction, and I agree that we need to stay in communication to make sure that language that we are coming up with is in alignment with what we can legally do. Just to clarify the balance is that we can't be out of compliance with federal requirements, because if we are, then we jeopardize federal funding to the university, including student financial aid.
Perfect, thank you so much for the clarification. Are there any other questions? Moving on to the next item of the agenda. Oh, yes.
Good morning, y'all. Ms. Brian, fourth year senior. Was undocumented, relevant to everything, prior information. Anyways, I'm here because students have recent concern that happened in the summer, changing the policy regarding funding. Hopefully some of y'all have heard about it, that we all decided on in the summer, or some of you decided. I don't know that they changed the policy as far as where money could be allocated for the specifically targeting organizations. The funding that we get from ASUCR, we can now spend it on groceries because of some technicalities, problem with those technicalities. And I see that as a direct problem with that, and I raised this concern with a lot of students did not, first of all, did not know about this, and when I shared this information with students that they could spend order money on groceries, they're really mad, taking into account the context of our university being the most fully secure, meaning 60% of students students, and some of y'all maybe don't have this that direct correlation of food insecurity, but maybe some of y'all do, which is 60%. You know, so I know we come with this like normalization of this thing, this violent thing we call an institution, higher education. It's a rite of passage. That's what they say. You know, eating maruchan, eating cup of noodle, and like you're suffering and being hungry and your mental health. Part of that, it's a rite of passage that has been rhetoric that has been passed down for students, and you know, and it shouldn't be like that. You know, it shouldn't be like you have to go through this violent process, this rite of passage in order for you to get a diploma. You know, and so I'm reaching out to y'all now as a student, as an undocumented student who's now unemployed due to a lot of bureaucratic things and a lot of immigration stuff that might be permanent in January, and so that's why, you know, this is us all interconnected. We're talking about who's going to be the most impacted by policies. Specifically, the one that I'm focusing on right now is the food policy as far as where does the funding that is going for organizations. A lot of organizations depend on this funding, and so just in 2 days we had almost 200 people signing a petition saying that they want y'all to change that. But I know I'm having a conversation with the financial office, financial whatever they call it, but they've been really open to discussion, and I've been discussing with them, and so we're going to keep on growing and keep really turn up. And I mean, and this is just a small band-aid, you know what I'm saying? So like, y'all have to really start thinking about how are we going to feed students beyond the band-aid solution, which is the food pantry, and how can we fund places such as like the community garden that's getting defunded and even eliminated as far as a resource. And if anybody knows this, the community garden is being shut down as far as funding. There's zero funds for operation right now. We're based on donations. So I'm just bringing up this concern too, as a person who is interning in the community garden, but is not unemployed in the community garden, and I volunteer my time there. I'm saying it's like this thing that we call food insecurity is connected to housing security, and it's connected to mental health insecurity. It's part of the broader form of oppression. As the most diverse campus university, it's no coincidence that we're the most food insecure because we're the most oppressed, being the most diverse. So I just want to make it clear that the students are hungry, and the students want change. And I know this is only one of me right now, but there's a lot of students, including y'all, that I know go hungry, and really start to consider having students' voice as far as when you make policies like this change in the future. That's going to impact everybody, and to have that dialogue, you know, and to have that conversation. But that was my personal testimony and message. I mean, I can pass it up. Is it alright if I pass it around?
If you would like to, definitely.
Yeah, so this is the petition to change the policy as far as the food policy for organizations to get funding to spend on groceries. I'm just talking about food. Comida, you know, something that you need, you know, to live. You know, it's like, it's so ridiculous that I have to be talking about food access. You know, this is one of our immediate goals. One of our immediate goals, and it's like such a hassle. But anyways, hopefully this gets resolved pretty soon, and this will be the conversation that will begin, something that's going to continue from the undocumented students bringing up the food pantry to now like another undocumented student bringing up like the discussion about the chancellor not funding the community garden. So there's a resolution that we're trying to pass by for the community garden. It's not just a resolution. We don't want to pass a referendum that will put more burden on students, pay more fees. We want the chancellor, and we want other funding resources that will not impact more students. So, hopefully this starts the conversation, and so yeah.
Thank you so much. I would just like to, I know that our Vice President of Finance is here, and maybe he can clarify some reasons as to why this decision was made. However, to also let you know that, you know, anytime there is an issue that you have concerning any of the policy that's made by ASUCR, we really welcome you to come in and start having a conversation with us and letting us know, so we can really try to see what we can fix from there. Because I know you did, you know, talk to a lot of people, and definitely that's amazing to see all the effort and all those that support you, and I totally understand where you're coming from. And all of your points have been well taken, and definitely we will be working together collectively to see what we can do differently, and we will be bringing up the concerns that you've made to the Chancellor as well. So thank you so much. Vice President of Finance Singh, if you would like to address.
First, I would like to thank you for coming and raising your concerns. I spoke to you beforehand yesterday as well. So to give the senators a little bit of context, this academic year for our organization, acting as a vice president of finance, I do govern a lot of the organizations that come into my office. Being that a huge change that we had throughout this year was eliminating org income. So we didn't require orgs to bring in any sort of income, and this income in the past was used for items such as grocery receipts or anything like that. I understand his concerns, and I really do thank him for letting us know. At this moment, we're in the early stages of formulating some sort of, I guess, solution to this problem. I'm working with the org funding specialist as the org specialist as well as the operations manager, finding some sort of solutions. At this moment, we're locating additional, I guess, approved vendors for groceries, or we're trying to look at some alternative methods that me and the org specialists are currently handling. We're considering if not adding additional approved vendors, we're considering allowing certain organizations to have certain exceptions. So, for example, your org specializes, like, I understand, like, for some orgs, it's very, you guys really do need that funding for groceries. For example, Highlander Chefs, the whole purpose of that work is for grocery receipts and making up stuff for students. So I understand where you're coming from, and I promise you and I assure you that we're going to be working on this. I sent you an email yesterday, so I don't know if you received that, but I'll keep you updated on what's going on. Thank you.
So this is what's cool, you know, the conversation you should have had in the beginning stages, so it's happening now, and that's cool. And again, this is just like the immediate things that we're targeting as far as food insecurity. This is just the beginning step. You know, this is a bigger, broad conversation that we should have, you know, with the chancellor as far as like changing like financial impact into this. Or like there's a lot of momentum behind this, and there's a lot of, you know, people who have been the most oppressed, people who are the most targeted, you know, people that are being unemployed now. And I'm just one like, legal person, document person talking about this, but you know, I appreciate this. And, we shouldn't be fighting over food.
Yeah.
You know, we should just like, you know. Anyways,
Thank you so much.
Support it.
Did you leave your information down? Because I think a lot of the senators and a lot of the other members as well would love to be in contact with you to see if there's any other things that you believe should be changed or things that we can advocate and help you advocate on. Thank you. Are there any other members of public forum that would like to address the Senate? So now we do have quorum, so very exciting. So we're gonna actually move back and do quite a bit of voting. So really quickly, approval of agenda. We made some changes, so quickly really go over them. I believe after public forum, Dalshan Bosin, our Vice President of Campus Internal Affairs, will be doing his report. Approval of Senate meeting number 4, I've passed them around, so please do sign if you have not done so yet. And I believe that is the only one for now. So are there any other corrections to the agenda that have not been previously made? Perfect. Then can I get a motion and then followed by a second, please?
I move to approve the agenda.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore Lee. Can I get a second? Seconded by Senator Javier. Are there any discussion or debate on this item? All in favor? All opposed? Any objections? With a unanimous vote of 9-0-0, motion passes, agenda is approved. Moving back after public forum, was there anyone else for public forum? Nope. Moving on to the next item of the agenda, which would be Vice President of Campus Internal Affairs, Bosin's report. Take it away.
Alright, so something that I've been thinking about lately, that I haven't quite, I'll discuss further with you guys moving forward, but I wanted to just plant the seed in the Senate, is as internal vice president, I sit on but a few different advisory committees in which we serve in, students serve in advisory capacity to administration. One being the Student Service and Advisory Committee, of the Board of Governors, etc. And what I noticed is that student government, we want to maintain our autonomy as a student-led organization, and we want to have some type of differentiation between us and administration. But it's my philosophy that getting things done requires cooperation. And as the gentleman mentioned earlier with the funding for the community garden, sorry I'm all over the place, but my intention is to establish some type of advisory committee in which administration serves in an advisory capacity to the student government. And I know that sounds pretty bad at first. You may be questioning whether or not that will harm our autonomy. I don't think so. The purpose of such an advisory committee would be for them to give us either quarterly or monthly report on what they're doing, and how the decisions they're making are affecting internal functioning and the student experience here at UCR. So more to come from that in the future. I plan to write a resolution during the break if we got things to vote on, beginning of next quarter. Secondly, I've decided to plan out our margins using a committee rather than pursue via the diversity council. I think that's a good way to allow more student involvement and to get a greater share of perspectives. And lastly, I want to thank all of you who showed your face at the Food Truck Festival. I really appreciate it. I think your presence was conducive to campus culture. And there was a total profit of $1,108, which 50% of that was our family. So that's all from me for now. And yep.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
So,
Yeah.
sorry, based on your first point, I just wanted to
Clarify.
clarify. So, what you're saying is you're gonna write a resolution so the students can know where that money that is being allocated. So, like, we'll know why, for example, the community garden is being funded or stuff like that.
So the idea is that, for example, right now there are several students who sit on SBAC and we serve in an advisory committee to Jim Southwest Student Affairs. So I think we should have a mutual exchange in which these administrators are serving in advisory capacity to us, letting us know, for example, we have the chancellor sit there, the vice president of student affairs, the vice president of business operations, auxiliary services, et cetera, all give us annual or quarterly or monthly reports on what they're doing, how it's affecting the student experience or the internal functioning of UCR. And then we can have that cooperation, that discussion to see what we can do as a student government to either enhance any projects that they're doing to better the student experience or how we can mitigate the negative effects of those decisions are happening. So an advisory committee in which those administrators advise student government, or at least inform them of what's going on. Right? Give me?
Yeah.
I'll work out the details in the resolution to be more clear, and I'll discuss it further with ECOD, and then we can decide whether or not, city can decide whether or not they think it's appropriate. But it's just an idea that I think is necessary, considering that I sit on various different committees in which we're kind of talking to administration, but we're not getting that same type of communication. I actually wasn't aware of that until now, so I think you can bring that up. I think that's something that should be said.
Could I just make a statement about the defunding of the art garden? I'm not sure that decision has been made. I know that and I have limited understanding. I'm trying to get, I'm going to be contacting the dean tomorrow. But that the funding that had been originally allocated was ending. What the dean of CNAS was doing was looking for partners that would be willing to help continue with the funding of it. I'm one of the partners and I'm willing to commit some money to it. I know she's called a meeting for January, so I'm happy to I'll share with you all the information that I get, but I'm not sure that a final decision has been made. But there is a question as to whether or not there's the funding will continue. But again, what I heard loud and clear from the dean last month is that she was committed to continuing with the garden. We just have to piece the funding together. Okay. But I'll follow up. I'll let you know what I find.
Is that more clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Even if the funding does continue, there's zero funds for operations. So, as far as like, we want like more gloves, we want more canteen for people, if it gets hot out there, or even for events that we want to hold, there's zero funds for operations. Like even if they could, like the discussion is up in the air, just like if we're going to continue or not, which is most likely, hopefully, like with all of your support and with his support and everybody, again, it will. That's why I'm bringing it up, just to not like be like, oh, hopefully up in the air. That's why I'm here. But also, there's zero funds for operations. So even if it's operational, there's zero funds for it. And I don't want any of that to come out again for the students. You know, I want somebody to match that has money, and I don't want it to like send out a referendum to charge students more money. Anyway, I just wanted to add that.
Thank you so much. Are there any other questions or comments? We'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is committee reports. We will change and have finance report be first. That was the previous request that was made, so we'll start out with finance report. Vice President of Financing.
Is it possible as well if I can get my report as well in the cabinet one?
Sure.
All right. for now, we'll go over the finance hearing number 7, held on November 15th, 2016. Everybody was present. Opening balance 42,461. The following awards came in: Kendall Club, Rotaract, Alpha Sigma Omicron, Asterisk for the grant, Islander Chefs, Amish Club Soccer, Native American Student Association, Collective Fashion Salsa, Korean Campus Crusade to Christ. The total allocations approved were 7,222, ending contingency balance of 35,239. Do you guys have any questions or issues with this? There were 2 organizations that were tabled, Salsa Club and Native American Student Association. The reason why they were tabled was because these boards were all renewals, so they didn't have any representatives speaking on their current budget. The budget that they did send in didn't necessarily follow the finance bylaws to, it was completely off. So we have to, I emailed them back, I'm going to be following up with them and sharing that they actually fix it up and follow up for the following hearings the following week. Any additional questions? No? Then can I have a motion, please?
You can make the motion yourself.
Can I motion to approve $7,222 for the finance hearing of November 15, 2016?
The motion on the table is to approve the allocations of $7,222. That was made on November 16th? 15th. Yeah, it says, November 15th. Sorry, I was looking at this. Can I please get a second? Seconded by Senator Moore. Are there any questions or discussions at this time? We'll move this into a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Any abstains? With the unanimous vote of 9-0-0, motion passes. Finance report is passed. Would you like to move on to your finance report?
Sure. For my finance report, there isn't too many updates. The biggest update is President Fellows have been chosen and they have entered into finance. Both of them came in this finance hearing and introduced themselves to committee members. As of this quarter, there isn't much of a role for them to play, as many of them have completed class schedule. So they will be playing a growing role in finance hearings and outreach to the Senate. Project that they will be working on specifically for this quarter is increasing our social media presence. I'm working with Senior Live to ensure that any concerns, any complaints, or anything that needs to be considered or known about is in line with where we have to go.
Awesome. Any questions? Nope. We'll be moving on to the next item, which is Legislative Review Committee. Senate Bill F-16-007 and 008 were striked, so we will begin with Senate Bill F-16-009 and 010. Oh, tabled until next week. So 9 and 10, President Pro Tem Portee, go ahead.
Well, for this Senate bill, me and Senator Ara have been working on the General Amendment to Chapter 2, which is the ASUCR Senator bylaw. So we're going to do this bylaw to remove any more extra wording that should not be there, and grammatical errors and factual errors. So the changes, the first change is to just removing, unless otherwise required by the Senate. However, the term limit, I believe, is determined by the ASUCR Constitution. And subsection B is to be in line with the ASUCR Constitution. And currently right now, subsection D, there is no hours on regarding to the weekly office hours. And therefore, we have added a suggested minimum because I believe there is university policy that in regards to senators not being an hourly wage. So since we are on stipend. And for subsection 8 is to ensure stipends are given to those fully complete their duties, senators must have 0 unexcused absence from the required events and must uphold all their duties as prescribed in section 4 above. So this subsection A was struck out because it's hold unfair because only senators are being held accountable, and executive cabinet and director are not being held accountable. So until a new consequential subsection is created, which applies to everyone in ASUCR. So section 6, subsection 8, since the ASUCR Judicial Council Rules of Procedure has changed, their section 11 no longer applies to the rule. So so me and Senator Ara have stricken out section 11 and just keep ASUCR Judicial Council Rules of Procedures. Okay. I move to approve SB F1607.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The motion on the table is to approve Senate Bill F16009, which are just general amendments to Chapter 2. There's already a second. Is there any questions or discussions on the Senate bill? Nope. We'll take this into a vote. All in favor? Perfect. All opposed? Any abstains? With a vote of 9-0-0, motion passes. Moving on to Senate Bill F16010, which are general amendments to Chapter 2, Part 2.
For this Senate bill, I'll let Senator Garland introduce.
Hello everyone. So the two changes were made as part of a larger initiative by Senator Lee and I to ASUCR's needs and kind of their requirements they have for students is constantly expanding, and we want to make sure that Senate is meeting those demands. So this resolution or this bylaw change basically encourages senators to pass more resolutions throughout the year. Currently, we only pass 2 resolutions, and the first one has to be done by the end of winter quarter, which to me seems like an exceptionally long amount of time that gives senators 2 quarters to write 1 resolution or make 1 bylaw change. So what Senator Lee and I have done is increase that to 3 pieces of legislation submitted in 1 year, so basically 1 quarter. And 1 has to be submitted by the start of winter quarter. Now, this will be taking effect next year because it's unfair to throw you guys into that last minute, although we would encourage you to possibly meet this new demand. But this would be taking effect starting fall quarter of 2017-2018 school year. And this is not to be looked at as an individual bylaw change, but there's going to be things that are added onto it. At least personally, in my vision for ASUCR, senators will be passing a lot more resolutions and working on a lot more projects in the upcoming years, which will be supplemented by help from Senate interns and getting a greater amount of campus involved in our projects. So it's not one senator doing an entire project by themselves. It will be one senator who legislates, organizes, and gathers people behind an idea and gets a lot of the campus involved in a certain project that they're working on. So this will just increase our output, make more use of the money that students pay into us, into our organization, and encourage just constant output from our Senate. So as you can see here, we struck out the original one that says submit at minimum 2 pieces of legislation, with 1 being submitted by the end of winter quarter. And instead we've changed that to submit a minimum of 3, with at least 1 being submitted by the start of winter quarter. And there'll be no more than 2 primary authors per piece of legislation because we don't want 5 people writing 1 resolution. I think it's kind of ridiculous, but and only senators who are primary authors on legislation shall satisfy the legislative requirement, because in the past we've had senators who just kind of signed on the legislation at the end of the year just to satisfy the requirement, which basically frees them from really doing anything if you consider it that way. So basically look at this as a step in a direction of making ASUCR adhere more to be committed more to working for the students, and also to have more output throughout the year. So that's that.
Thank you.
I move to approve Senate Bill F16010.
Is there a second?
A second.
Seconded by President Pro Tempore Lee. Are there any questions or discussions on this item?
We're encouraging senators to go into the bylaws, make necessary changes. There's a lot that we still need to change from the switch that happened about 4 years ago from a parliamentary system to more of a 3-branch system. So please go ahead, go into the bylaws, look through them, and make necessary changes, because if all of us made bylaw changes by the end of the year, the bylaws would be cleaned up and we wouldn't have anything to worry about. So don't start passing like empty resolutions just to meet this requirement. And again, this requirement only takes effect starting fall of next year. So.
Perfect, thank you so much. There is a second on the table, so we will take this into a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Any abstains? With a vote of 900, motion passes. Moving on to the next item, which is executive cabinet reports. We will start off with our president groom's report. Sadly, he's unable to be with us, but I believe our chief of staff will definitely go into it. If you can come up, write your name just for minute purposes, and please introduce yourself to not only the senators, I think most of them haven't met you, but to the rest of the county as well.
Okay, my name is William McIver. I serve as chief of staff under Shafi. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it because he went to receive registration that's taking place today and tomorrow. He did send me his report for today, however, so I will be reading on that. So, first thing we'll talk about is, he said you're in the final stages of selecting a finance operation manager, and you're currently working with campus administration to finalize the appointment. The applicant chosen will most likely start working in 3 to 4 weeks. Second thing is, as of meeting today, Shafi spoke to Regents regarding the proposed tuition hike starting in the 2017 to 2018 academic school year. He believes that since Proposition 55 is passed, extending Proposition 30, the tax rate for up to 2% for another 12 years to fund education, we should be asking the state for more funding, not students. So especially now that the state will be getting $60 million to $1 billion, if not more, per year for a rainy day fund, as it's described. Students are not pawns. We shouldn't get caught in the middle of this political game like we did in 2014. Raising tuition shouldn't be our first option. Instead, we should be working together asking the state to fund higher education. Also, as a side note, is one thing to say, Shafi was pulled aside by members of ABC News and the LA Times to be interviewed. After yeah, that was yeah, he just wanted to be there. And then the last thing is the other matter that Shafi plans to bring up to the meeting tomorrow, has to do with the current academic equations / student dismissal process. It is Shafi's belief that when the school decides to dismiss a student due to grades, they should also take into account their personal circumstances, living conditions, and their well-being in general. We're all human beings, not just students, and as human beings, we all have life getting away sometimes. So we just ask the school to better understand that.
Awesome, thank you so much. Are there any questions? No, thank you so much for coming in, Will. Moving on to the next item, which is my report. I would just like to briefly bring it up in my report that next week is Thanksgiving, and usually Wednesday, 6 p.m., most people would like to go home and spend time with some family. So I am proposing, and one of the options that we did last year was we moved the meeting to week 10. However, that became a huge hassle because a lot of people had finals and a lot of people wanted to study and didn't attend. So I'm proposing to you all, how about next Tuesday on the 22nd of November, 6 p.m. Is that something that you all are down for or not? I will be sending out an email just to give you all a heads up. Please be thinking about your schedule. I myself will not be here because I do have class, so President Pro Tempore Lee will be chairing that meeting. However, if you believe that's more suitable for your, schedule, then please do choose that date. If, however, quorum is not met on the 22nd, everyone will be required to be present on the 23rd at 6 p.m. So, just giving you all a heads up. If quorum is not met on the 22nd, the 23rd, everyone has to be present. So, moving on to the next item, for Student Service Fee Advisory Committee, the committee that I am sitting on, we have met today, sort of went over the guidelines and templates of what we would like to announce to the different departments to let them know the criteria of submitting a a request for an allocation to their department. So we will be moving forward with that. Moving on to the next item is first year fellows. So of course I'm the last, but definitely wanted to pick the best. We have chosen our first year fellows, and it will be Julian Gonzalez and Nicole Gwen. Hopefully they're watching this because I'll let them know that I'll be announcing it today. If not, then I will be sending them an email follow-up to let them know. Some of the goals that I have for them, especially with 2 first-year fellows, is to have one of them work closely with the parliamentarian and the other one work closely with the Senate Secretary to really allow them to understand more of the office and the staff of the Executive Vice President. But of course, work directly with our Executive Assistant, Carolyn, as well, just so they have a better understanding of the Executive Vice President position. And more importantly, as you all know, my position is working directly with the senators to assist you all. So definitely both of them will be working closely with all the senators and assisting you all with any project ideas, any goals, any assistance that you all may need. And we'll definitely be having them work closely with the Senate interns, with the mock meetings, etc. And I know Will has a lot of great plans for them as well, definitely as sort of the leader of all of the first year fellows. So just wanted to mention that. Finally, the last thing is one-on-ones. As you all know, the quarter is coming to an end, and I mentioned this before, but I will be sending out an email hopefully soon, so we can just have a one-on-one meetup just to see where you are currently, what projects you all have started to fulfill, what projects you would like to continue on, and what new ideas you may want to see. You know, sometimes projects don't go the way that you want, and you want to see what else could be better, could be directly benefiting the student population, then that's something that we should be working towards. So definitely that's something that we will be working on. I will be sending out the doodle poll very soon, so please be on the lookout. And you are required to meet with me, or else I do have to withhold your stipend because that is part of the bylaws. But I also encourage you to meet with me because I love to talk to you all and want to get to know more about what you are up to and see what I can help and what the rest of the executive cabinet can help you all with. Are there any questions? Yes?
Is there a Senate meeting on the 30th?
The Senate meeting on the 30th, which is week 9? Yes. Oh, is that week 10? No, you don't schedule.
Week 9.
Oh, week 9, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, 30th is week 9.
It's week 10.
It's week 9.
10. Oh, no, there's no meeting week 10.
Is that
Week 9 is Thanksgiving. So
Sure.
week 9 is next week, because this is week 8 right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Positive.
Okay.
We don't want
Week 8
finals.
definitely right now, because your girl is trying to catch up with her courses, so.
Okay.
Week 8.
Yeah, I didn't look it up. I was just
So week 8.
testing you when you.
I got you. Week 8, which is today. Week 9 is next week, which is Thanksgiving, so we'll be having it hopefully on the 22nd, if we don't meet before on the 23rd. And week 10, because I want you all to study and do well in your courses, because I know I need it, we will not have a meeting during that week, okay? So definitely during winter, I do advise you all to start thinking of different projects, you know, maybe come up with email drafts if you want to reach out to people, resolutions, you will have to submit 2 resolutions, so definitely do so. Yes, Senator Ira.
I just kind of wanted to add on to that. Whoever got Senate interns, I'm going to be making like a brief breakdown of like how to send emails, how to speak to someone on the phone and stuff, because I feel like a lot of Senate interns come into it not really expecting what's going on. So I want to make like maybe just a few documents, basically email etiquette, standard like phone etiquette, how to approach people, and I'll be giving that all out to you guys as well, and you can, or out to y'all as well, and you can incorporate it as you wish. I think it's just good if we have sort of a standard breakdown for Senate interns, so they know, so they learn how to interact with admin and other students in a professional and kind of office environment. And so let me know if you want something like that. I'll be doing that probably over winter break and giving you all that on when we get back from winter break.
Awesome. I can definitely let you know that I have email etiquettes already like sort of a worksheet done for you all, so if that's something that you want, I can definitely send it over. Perfect. Yes.
Okay, just wondering if you want to like work with the direction, so I can also do that for the fellows as well.
Yeah,
For every
absolutely.
single one.
I think it's just important to kind of give them this information starting now, so next year if they decide to run or work on bigger projects, they can be prepared.
Yeah, I definitely think that provide infrastructure to build upon. Yeah,
Absolutely.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, I do apologize, but he does have to go to class, and we need one more voting matter to be done with. So I'm actually gonna move on, and then definitely if you all want to meet up later and talk about it, that would be great. Thank you so much. So moving on to external affairs, just really quickly before he has to go, there's 2 more members that would like to attend Student of Color Conference that we did not vote on. The first member is Momo Hussein, and the second one is Johnston Pham. Are there any questions on these 2 members? I believe they both have attended multiple conferences. Yes, Senator.
Is there still a list of people who have not been able to go?
I am not sure. I believe there's still a list. Is there? Do you know, Lori, if they still have a list of those that cannot
For
attend?
Students of Color Conference?
Yeah.
I think that there was a pretty lengthy list, so I'm not really sure though at this point what that looks like. I haven't talked to Oscar about it at all, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just another question.
Yes.
So, they joined late, is that why we're approving that now, or what's?
I believe it's, yes.
Protocol for any conference out of the external office is that the more students that you can get to go, the better. So once a student goes to a conference, basically they've already attended, and usually we pay for the transportation, the registration. And the point is to not have repeat attendees because more students should be able to go. So when somebody's already attended 1 or more conferences, the idea behind that was to open it up to students that have never been to any of the conferences. And so I'm sure there probably is a list, but I don't know what that looks like. But that's the main purpose, that, you know, if somebody's already been before, they'll ask Senate to wait. And the typical reason for that is because if you're setting up in rooms of 4 people, like at a hotel, sometimes they like somebody in the room, you know, each of the rooms that's been there before. It could be kind of a group leader. But that's usually made clear when you're voting for that. Or a couple of different group leaders on a bus or something like that. But the idea is that the more students, the better. So students that keep going to conferences over and over really are not, it's not opening it up to more students that haven't attended.
Well, seeing as we don't have a list, I need to approve candidates that are to talk.
Thank you so much. Can I get a second? Seconded by Senator Limon. Sorry. Are there any discussions or questions? No? Oh, so I did get a response from him. This is my discussion done. But it's because people dropped. And so they moved those people up from the list. So that's the reason as to why.
So there's nobody left on the list that hasn't been?
I believe there are people still left on the list, but I believe Momo is also he is one of the leaders of Reignite, which is why he wants to be in attendance for SOC. And Johnston Pham, I know, is a big activist on our campus as well. So maybe that's how they went about to see who can bring the best benefit back to the campus. So there is a second on the table. All in favor? All opposed? Any abstains? With the motion of 9-0-0, motion passes. Thank you so much, both senators. You all. Okay, continuing on with executive cabinet reports with Oscar. I'm trying to currently pull it up. To it. However, currently I am unable to pull it up, so we'll move on to director reports. We will begin with our outreach director, Angelica Tan. Her outreach report states, the outreach committee will be convening tomorrow and Friday for our general committee meeting. Anyone is welcome to attend. We will be doing calendar planning for the next 2 quarters. We are hoping to visit high schools next quarter to talk about the university, as well as ASUCR and volunteer for different community outreach events on campus. I have also been in talks with Jerry, an advisor at Student Life, who wants to collaborate for outreach grant workshops. We have met already. I just want to give my committee availabilities. The workshops will be in winter and spring quarter. They are specified for outreach directors that have been or already received grant money. As for this quarter, I would like to make my office hours available to any other outreach directors that want advice for my winter and spring hearings. I understand that the process might be new for some folks, and I can provide a brief presentation if there are a lot of people interested. That is from our outreach director. Moving on to the next member, which is Alan Alcantara, which is our personnel director. He states, interns have begun working with their mentors. I will have my committee members be assigned to interns to reviews and updates. And there's still two spots to vacate for the Senate interns. I'm pretty sure he means there's 2 vacant spots for Senate interns, and therefore we'll be conducting interviews next quarter. And Target is also willing to have a resume building workshop and would like ASUCR to host it. So Personnel Director Alan Alcantara will be working closely with that next quarter. Moving on to Marketing and Promotions Director. Don't you look how all of them are present. So he says, ASUCR Clicker Rental Program. He is working with Jonathan Lee to develop a framework for the program. Elections Timeline Project, working with Morrissey to develop marketing plan for election. ASUCR Video Series, working with Shafi and his vice chair to come up with a screenplay for the first video. Bike Share Program Meeting, working with Ruby to develop marketing campaign for Bike Share Program. BCOE Marketing Program, working with Ruby to develop marketing campaign for BCOE programs. Our gear design. Please see the attached. So we actually have 2 our gear designs ready for the Senate to sort of look and see which one is somewhat, I guess, your favorite. This is design number 1. This is design number 2. Definitely, if this is something that you would like to provide more input in, I believe Connie, one of our senators, was the one who came up with this. Yeah. So definitely, if you have input or if you have other ideas or if you really like something, please come talk to her. And I hope that she will provide more intel, and also if you have good critiques, she will input them into the sweatshirt. Yeah? Perfect. So finally, Senator Meet and Greet. He is going to begin planning the framework of this event. Moving on to our elections director, Marcico. Yes, thank you so much for coming today to the State of the Association.
Happy to be here. So finally, I have finalized my committee. I have 10 wonderful, beautiful, diverse individuals in my committee, one of which is here. Evan, thank you for coming. Our first committee meeting is going to be this Friday at 10 in the conference room. It will be 100% transparent. If y'all want to come, you can. I will definitely be taking notes and sharing with you guys what's going on, so you know anything that we talk about every step of the way. I'm having a meeting with BCSA on the 30th of November to talk about some systematic changes and log-in, log-out logistics for online voting, certain disclaimers and the layout of the online voting thing. We will be discussing and finalizing on that particular day. Lori and I will be going together. And as mentioned in Josh's report, I had a meeting with him last week, and we were talking about how to market different facets of the election. So particularly we want to focus on the debates and how we can do the marketing a week or 2 weeks in advance to sort of make students care about the issues that are at hand. I feel like the lack of knowledge is what's preventing people from coming out. We're also working on finalizing the design for the referendum reminder, which is January 13th. It's that Friday. And it's going to be published, hopefully, if you guys design by the end of this week, it will be published on all platforms of social media by Friday, fingers crossed. The editor-in-chief of the Highlander, Miles, and I will be having our second follow-up meeting. And the second follow-up meeting will be talking more about how to lay out the elections guide. In the past, it has been released after the debates. What we want to do is we want to change that deadline and release that particular issue before the debates so that people could have that pamphlet and look through it before even going into the debates. Right now, I'm in the process of writing a script and directing less than 2-minute video that will be focusing on defining what laptoping is and what is considered official and unofficial oversight. Josh has been very busy, so what I did
didn't allow access for me to view it. So I'm waiting for him to change it, and if it does not permit me to do so, just wanted to give you all a quick update. They will be attending SOC this weekend, Friday to Sunday, so that's where they will be heading. Oscar's currently up in San Francisco with, I believe it was 32 other students, as well as President Karim, and they are protesting to fight against the tuition hike that will be happening next year, so that's what they're up to. And I know he's been extremely busy, especially after post-elections, and trying to work with the different groups on campus to ensure that everyone is safe and that their voices are being heard throughout this difficult time. Moving on next to Senator reports, we will begin with BCOE. So Senator